Hey guys, happy Friday and welcome back to another Makeup and Bad Movies. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, it's the day after Thanksgiving, but I hope you're still enjoying your Thanksgiving leftovers. This week, I decided that it would only be fitting. I have a pimple under my eyebrow. What the hell is that? This week, I thought it was fitting. I thought it'd be so festive to do the movie Thankskilling. Now, I knew that this movie was gonna be garbage. I knew it was gonna be hot fucking dumpster fire, right? I knew it. So I was like, instead of trying to like write out a script and do all of that, I'm gonna do it review style because I don't think that I'll be able to watch it twice. Like, I don't think I'll be able to sit through it twice. Boy, was I right in that sense. But I filmed it wrong, so I didn't want to film an ingenuine reaction since I'd already seen it. So I just decided to go along with my original format for these videos and talk y'all through this terrible, terrible movie. Thankskilling is a 2008. I have got to start doing my face before my brows. I don't know why I've adopted this mythology, but I need to leave it alone. Anyway, Thankskilling is a 2008 horror comedy. I really would like for these movies to stop throwing around the word comedy and then not being funny. This movie, not surprisingly, only had a budget of $3,500, and it was actually released on DVD, which is surprising because I thought this was kind of like I guess that's where the straight to DVD thing comes from, but I really would have guessed that this was like only available on Tubi, random ass websites, not on Netflix. It's not good enough for Netflix, but like random ass streams. Let's get into it. Thankskilling is your typical horror slasher film. Of course, follows some college students, naturally includes some unnecessary nudity. So it's literally like your basic slasher film, but worse. So the movie immediately opens with nudity, even though we're supposed to be getting just some backstory on the killer turkey, but like immediately, titties. Why are you running with your titties out? I can't show it to y'all, but she's running with her titties out. She's running from the turkey. That don't hurt. So it's the year 1612, and it's the first Thanksgiving, and a topless pilgrim is killed by evil demonic turkey who is wielding a tomahawk, like an axe basically. But yeah, so this pilgrim is running away topless from the evil demonic turkey. He does end up killing her. Centuries later, we're introduced to our main cast for the movie, and we hit all our usual stereotypes. Of course, we have the 30-year-old jock, Johnny. We have the frat boy, Billy. He's described in the wiki as a redneck, but he doesn't give redneck. He literally gives like dumb frat boy. We have the ditzy slut, Allie. We have the good girl who's kind of a pick-me, Kristen, and then we have the nerd, Dan. And like I said, they're all heading home for Thanksgiving, even though they're not really friends with each other, but from some reason, they all came from the same town. Because that makes sense. Anyway, elsewhere, a hermit is out in the woods with his dog, and the dog pees on this Indian totem pole thing, which releases the turkey, and as the turkey is being released, the dog also pees on him. Naturally, Turkey, that is the turkey's name, Turkey, gets upset and then kills the dog, which is not surprising because when does an animal ever survive a horror movie? I do want to say that the turkey has a funny voice. If anything was funny about this movie, it's his voice.
I had an accident. What the hell? What kind of accident? Well, I took this here axe and I accidentally cut him. Get it? Accident. Die.
I don't know what it is. I think it's the fact that he sounds like he very obviously sounds like a white boy. Like, in no way did they try and make it sound like this is what we think a turkey would sound like. No, this is basic white boy. That's his voice. And that kind of cracks me up a little bit. So going back to the college kids, while they're driving, the car overheats and they have the brilliant idea to camp out in the woods. As they're setting up, the nerd tells this little folktale about the turkey, about how this Native American was kind of cast aside by one of the pilgrims. He was dishonored by a pilgrim who also happens to be the frat boy's ancestors. So he was so angry that he cursed this turkey. He used necromancy to create turkey, who was believed to appear every 505 years, which coincidentally would be at midnight. I use green shadow, but it looks like I just used like a deep brown. Okay, so Kristen, she not runs off, but she walks off into the forest because she wants to call her dad. And this is where she first encounters Turkey, who just kind of scares her and lets her run off. She runs back to the campsite and she tells her friends, but they all kind of laughed her off like, you know, it's just a folk tale, no need to get freaked out. And none of them believe her, that is, until a baby rabbit is thrown into their little campfire. And somehow, even though this baby rabbit is literally burning alive, well, not burning alive, but it's burning, like it's on fire, they can tell that the stomach was mashed open. Specifically, they can tell that it was gnashed open by a turkey beak. I'm guessing that the nerd is an inspiring zoologist, because that's the only way that that type of information will make sense somehow. The next day, the kids are able to get the car up and running, so they hit the road again. Turkey hitchhikes, this scene is so, Turkey hitchhikes with this dude, and the dude pulls over. So when the dude comes to like pick him up, he pulls over and he's like, ass or cash or something like that, ass or gas, something. So Turkey turns around, the dude starts, you know what I mean. He was gonna fuck at Turkey. He was gonna. Anyway, it doesn't get that far because Turkey changes his mind and actually decides to shoot him in the head, so. He then takes his car because, of course, he can drive. So they finally make it back home. Johnny jumps everybody off at their respective homes. When Johnny gets home, his mother's like, you should try and talk to his dad, your dad or whatever. And he's like, you know, we don't talk anymore. And then we find out that Johnny's dad is like a really shitty parent, and he basically doesn't talk to his son only because he's not the starting quarterback for his football team. So Johnny then lies so that he and his dad can have some type of relationship. I don't even know why I'm explaining this. I think it's just funny to me that he literally would not talk to his son because he wasn't the starter. It has nothing to do with the story. I mean, kind of, because then as they're sharing that touching moment, Turkey comes up and kills the dad, and then Johnny runs inside and he finds out his mom is gone too. So they all gather at Billy's house, everybody except Allie, and Johnny explains to them what happened. Allie is not there because she is at her house having sex, because duh, she's a slut. But it's actually kind of funny because they're so clearly not having sex. Not that I'm saying like I want it to look more realistic, but like they're both fully clothed, and like not like fully clothed and clothes pushed down, but just fully clothed completely. Anyway, she and dude are having sex. Turkey walks in, kills dude, takes his place, reaches the finish line, and then kills her. How she went along with it. She did not notice that it was Turkey behind her. So the whole gang goes to her house. They find that she's dead. They then decide that they need to find a way to kill Turkey. Kristen brilliantly suggests that her dad has a whole bunch of books in the garage, so he should have one about how to kill this turkey. I have a whole bunch of books in my house. I for sure do not have a book about how to kill a turkey. But let's look in my dad's garage, because there'll probably be a book there. That's realistic. So, simultaneously, Turkey went to Kristen's house, and he kind of pretended like he was Kristen's friend. So he's kind of sitting there waiting with the dad for Kristen, and the dad doesn't notice that it's a turkey because he thinks it's a midget dressed up in a turkey costume for the costume party that night. And then I guess the dad said something to piss him off, like he called him a duck or something. I don't know. The dad pissed him off, he killed the dad. So when Kristen and all her friends get there, Kristen thinks nothing is wrong because her dad is there. It's the turkey wearing the dad's face as a mask. And nobody thinks anything of it. Not at all. Anyway, they then go to the garage and start looking through the books, and they actually look like they're reading the books, even though realistically all you would need to do is look at the cover and be able to deduce whether or not it has the information you need, but they're like reading through the books. But anyway, they finally find the book, which is the worst prop I've ever seen in my entire life. It's a piece of cardboard. And in the book, they find out that in order to kill Turkey, they have to remove his talisman before they can kill him. Billy is hungry, so he goes into the kitchen and he finds the real sheriff lying on the floor. He then calls everyone in and they manage to tackle down, well, Billy manages to hold the turkey down so that they can get rid of his talisman, but he runs off before they can kill him. So they're still reading the book because they know they have to take the talisman off, but they're not sure if they have to kill him a certain type of way. But Billy decides to leave because he's frustrated. Now, Billy is so hungry when he leaves that when he comes across Turkey, either Turkey somehow, or just because he is hallucinating, I guess, because he's so hungry, he imagines, or he sees that it's like an actual cooked turkey. So he picks it up and he eats it whole, and then Turkey shoots him from the inside. I love a long lash. I love a dramatic lash. Yes, sir. All right, so the gang manages to, they find Billy on the side of the road. These 5 minutes of Darren crying about how he lost his best friend, which is interesting because at the beginning of the movie, it seems like they didn't really like each other that much, but they've been best friends since they were kids. Apparently, it's really, like, he sings and everything, like, and they have flashbacks. So anyway, they find Turkey in his tent and they tie him up with this flimsy ass piece of string. And by tie him up, I mean that they literally just wrapped cooking string around him. And wrapped is even too generous for what they did, because they basically just threw it on him. But he's stuck now. He, of course, manages to get away, because who wouldn't get away from that weak ass shit? And as Turkey's running out, the hermit from the beginning of the movie, the one whose dog died, he shoots Turkey. So, yay, everything's done, right? Everybody's happy. But of course not, because when he shoots Turkey, he flies into a bin with radioactive materials. So the revived Turkey finds them all at Kristen's house. I think they're at somebody's house and they're watching a movie as if they didn't just see their friends and family die. Darren is killed in the kitchen because he stepped out because Kristen and Johnny started hunching. Again, your friends and family just died. Turkey then stabs Johnny in the stomach with an electric knife, and Kristen runs in at that exact moment, so they're able to run off into a shed. Turkey chases them out into the shed, and Kristen finally kills him once and for all with a lighter and an aerosol spray. Kristen then eats a drumstick that flew out of the fire, which wasn't even turkey sized. Clearly a piece of chicken. The movie ends with some family settling down, getting ready for their Thanksgiving dinner and closing their eyes for prayer when the turkey suddenly jumps up and lets us know that unfortunately there will be a sequel. I knew that this movie was gonna be terrible, but I didn't know it would be literally painful to watch. It was painful to watch. I will link it down below, but it is painful to watch. The first time I watched it, around like 40 minutes, I was like, I can't take it anymore. Mind you, it's only an hour long. I said, I can't take it anymore. I can't watch another second. It took me 3 days to write my notes for this video because I physically could not sit through a second viewing of this movie. It is terrible. It is the worst movie I have ever seen, and I cannot believe that people put money into making this piece of garbage. But that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you aren't already so you can see these types of videos every single week. If you have any suggestions for what movie I should watch next, be sure to leave it down below in the comments. And until next time, see you guys later.